coffee, one of
the sector to grow the Nigerian economy and improve the well-being of Nigerians.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who described the show of support and appreciation by man as welcoming, said he is ready to receive the report of a committee it set up to assess the potential cost and impact of signing the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The president told the association that the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is on the agenda for the upcoming AU summit in Niamey, Niger Republic next month.
I don't think we have the capacity, when I say we Nigerians, to effectively supervise or see that our colleagues in AU do not allow their countries to be used to dump things on us to the detriment of our young industries and our capacity to give foreign exchange to imported goods.
President Buhari promised to look into the presentation by man, which highlighted critical issues of concern to the manufacturing sector.
I assure you that I very much know our problems in terms of our population, unemployment, especially of the aggressive young people. We need to move very fast, so the government will try and encourage you as much as possible. So there's a problem of unemployment and provision of goods and services relative to our population and state of development can be tolerated.
President Muhammadu Buhari is assuring the nation's manufacturers that the challenges associated with, amongst others, the Export Expansion Grant, the 2019 fiscal policy measures, the recent increase in NAFDAC charges, as well as the Industrial Development Amendment Act 2019 will be carefully analyzed and conscientiously addressed. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the focus of the Buhari administration is for the nation to be an industrialized country in the next 10 years. This is coming as $20 billion or more lying in wait to fund infrastructure by investors, and the nation's economy is gaining momentum. The Vice President was speaking at a discussion with a delegation from Harvard Business School. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has that one.
Present here are some of Nigeria's finest entrepreneurs and intellectuals who are mostly graduates of Harvard University's Business Faculty. The Nigerian economy is unique and exciting, especially for experts and students of economics. This gathering, therefore, is to welcome some professors from the Harvard Business Faculty willing to learn more about Nigeria and its economy. As the faculty members say, research on the Nigerian economy would provide excellent report for students of economics all over the world. Professor Srikant Datta is leading the delegation.
There is much for us to learn about strategy, marketing, organization structure, managing people, and very importantly, responsibility to society as it is practiced in your country.
As a country that's heavily reliant on oil, how do you think about preparing for climate change? What can you do, what are you doing to bring back that diaspora talent?
A lot of the time, you know, when you look at what the strategists are saying, when you look at what the economists are saying, I mean, many times, obviously, it doesn't really quite work that way.
Nigeria's Vice President and Chairman of the National Economic Council, Yemi Osinbajo, provides answers to the questions raised on what the country is doing to improve the economy, citing the social investment programs, agriculture, the focus on having an efficient civil service for enabling business environment, and development of infrastructure such as rail, road, and power generation.
We have to rewrite regulations and encourage more people to invest in that sector, and then cost-reflective tariffs and all that. That really is, you know, where we're heading, and we think that in the next few months we will unveil a plan that we hope will deal with many of the critical issues in the power sector.
For an hour and a half, participants discussed the way forward for Nigeria.
Actually, outside, there's a tremendous amount of excitement about Nigeria.
And all we need to do is figure out a way to tap into it, and this place can go places.
Cynicism is cheap. Criticism is very easy. We have to do our best, even if it means failing.
I think as we go into business, as we go into the economy, if we're dealing with poverty, we've got to think, how do we get business to make money while impacting on wider society?
At the end of it all, there is the consensus that the country remains aligned of immense opportunities for investors. In Lagos, Jude Onifade, NJ News.
Nigeria will soon have a new policy that will guide, protect, and promote the country's interest in shea butter business. The policy, already drafted by the Ministry of Trade and Investment, is expected to push further the country's shea output and provide ways of enhancing processing. Musa Babaliu has more.
Records have shown that Nigeria accounts for about 60% of the global output of shea. This is because the country produces more than 400,000 metric tons of shea annually. In spite of this, Nigeria earns little revenue from the production, processing and marketing of shea and its byproducts within and outside the country.
Traditional methods are what are being used to process shea mainly. So we don't have modern techniques, we don't have the kind of equipment or infrastructure that will make the quality of the shea we produce in this country acceptable to the international market.
Want to present this draft policy?
Having identified the challenges affecting shea processing, the government is pushing for a new policy that will make Nigeria be a major player in the global trade of shea and its byproducts.
But now we have come out and we are holding the bulls by the horn that the shea sector in this country must be able to bring at least 20%, must be able to control at least 20% of the GDP of this country.
The policy expected to have the blessings of the Federal Executive Council will in return increase revenue generation from shea to more than 20 billion naira annually. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Year in, year out, universities and other research institutes in the country release research results which remain on the shelves without reaching the end users by way of commercialization. The Raw Materials Research and Development Council is now out to find solutions to this problem by publicizing research findings through exhibition. Justin Bemuni came across some of these research works that, if improved upon, Nigeria will make a trademark in the world of technology and innovation.
This is Ismaila Suraju, and what he has here is a mini tractor, which he says is meant for conveying farm produce. And this is his innovation. And he is a graduate from the Government Science and Technical College, Area 3 here in Abuja. But what's so amazing about this innovation is that his ability to install a security device, which he says can call him wherever he is when this tractor is touched or tapped. Can you explain how it works?
This automatic security, once someone taps it, it will call my number.
Okay,
wherever
give it a try.
Yes.
Okay, can you give it a try? Wow, and he has a call now.
And this is just one amongst an array of intellectual property, unveiling the ingenuity in innovations and research findings targeted at solving problems in the country. A range of technologies in medicine, where herbal products have been developed for ailments. Also a look at the food and agriculture as well as other technologies and innovation here displayed is the reflection of the common factor of utilizing locally available materials sourced as raw materials. This exhibition is to encourage further research and investment as the nation strives towards achieving sustainable economic development.
The exhibition is meant to promote awareness on the prospective technology and innovation developed locally through research work, promote economic transformation, and encourage industrial development through the application of research.
The luck for talent, the blessing for talent is no longer enough. Now in this country and in this world, you need a talent for luck and a talent for blessing.
The council is collaborating with the Center for Entrepreneurship Studies of University of Abuja to ensure that research findings like that of Surajo and others reach investors, industrialists and manufacturers. In Abuja, Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
More on technology. The National Information and Technology Development Agency, NITDA, has developed guidelines for public and private information and communication technology operators for the auditing of their information systems and testing of softwares. Chimdima Ndubisi reports that the agency believes this will set standards in Nigeria's ICT sector and make it globally competitive.
Virtually every sector is adopting information and communication technology in driving its activities. With this comes the dangers of systems hack, database attacks, and manipulations, otherwise known as cybercrimes. To checkmate this, the National Information and Technology Development Agency, NITDA, has come up with guidelines that will help information and communication technology operators and software testers edge out errors, vulnerability, and ensure optimal productivity. That explains the meeting of these ICT experts to harmonize the documents.
By auditing these systems, you'll be able to find those vulnerable points that will be able to close the gaps and be able to make sure that the systems work efficiently and are more secure and reduce corruption.
What the guideline basically is trying to do is to empower individuals within organization to be able to set up a team of IS auditors, and this team will be able to conduct this audit on behalf of the organization after undergoing the required training to ensure that there is trust in information systems, and whatever data you are getting from them, you can be rest assured that those data are reliable, is actually protected.
It is important that the MDAs, even private sector, key into the IS audit standards, because it will reflect the competence of the organization.
The final output, the regulator says, is a guideline that must be complied with by all. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Enjoy the best of African football as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
You're welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the current attacks on the people of Kona in Taraba State and ordered security forces to end the violence immediately and decisively. The president warned that attacks on innocent people in the name of revenge or whatever motives will not be tolerated by the government. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said, the president noted that no group of people has the right to surround innocent people and unleash murderous violence on them. He explained that nobody should take the law into their hands because doing so will result in anarchy, which in turn will make everyone unsafe. President Buhari added that in a circle of violence characterized by revenge and counter-revenge, there are no winners. The president said that in a state of permanent hostilities, people destroy not only law and order, but also their own ability to conduct their everyday businesses in peace, and warned that a situation where community leaders abandon their responsibilities and allow thugs to set the agenda is dangerous for peace and security in the country. Senate President Ahmed Lawan says the role of the media will be critical and crucial to the performance of the 9th National Assembly. He was speaking when he granted audience to the National Assembly correspondents who were on a congratulatory visit. The Senate President advised the media to report on the 9th Assembly professionally in the interest of national unity devoid of sentiments. He promised that his leadership will be all-inclusive and will ensure effective discharge of their oversight functions.
We have no reason, we would have no excuse not to work together, not to perform. So we have sought, and by the grace of God and your support, got the office. And it is now the critical time to face the realities of the office. That is to ensure that we bring everybody together, that we work together, that we deliver together. In the process of governance, we are expected to work with the executive arm of government. We are supposed to have a relationship of complementarity. We are supposed to have a relationship that is based on cooperation, collaboration, synergy, and partnership.
The meeting is expected to enhance the relationship between the 9th Senate and the media. Improvement in legal framework, enforcement and mechanism, and carrying along persons living with disabilities are some of the ingredients needed to strengthen Nigeria's electoral system. These recommendations were made at the Electoral Reform Roundtable by members of Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room and Kofi Annan Foundation in Abuja. Adebola Brucelin Sunday reports.
Democracy allows peaceful transfer of power through institutional mechanism, which credible and legitimate elections are regarded as the cornerstone. These key players, comprising local and international observers, acknowledge the fact that there is no election that is perfect, but it remains a key democratic legitimacy. And as Nigeria opens a new 4-year cycle, they want an inclusive and sustained constructive dialogue in addressing concerns towards necessary reforms.
Even in these difficult circumstances, we saw INEC make some improvements.
In many other electoral jurisdictions, there is provision for review of complaints before returns are made.
For the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, the cleanup of the electoral system is in the interest of all Nigerians.
Created a window for corrupt INEC recs and corrupt collating officers and corrupt presiding officers to pick and choose where to excuse the non-use of card reader and where not to excuse it.
Agitators for good governance say so much lessons have been learned that will help in future elections.
If it is not going to go against the popular Nigerian view, that is when only you can have numbers of political parties reduced.
We'll look at all these issues and then strengthen it so that we can move ahead, particularly since Kogi, Bayelsa, and of course 2023 elections are just around the corner.
Transparent political party nomination of candidates and the need to ensure that no electoral officer conducts more than 2 elections were also recommended. Adebola Brucelin Sunday, NTA News.
Now to health matters. The mention of sickle cell anemia sounds like a death sentence in the ears of some people, but experts are now saying that there is hope of living to old age for the carriers of this health condition if well managed. This is the message of hope the Zoe's Flower Foundation took to the Durumi 11 Primary School, Abuja, as part of activities marking the World Sickle Cell Awareness Day. Ado Adamu Also was there.
Sickle cell anemia is an inherited form of anemia, a condition in which there is not enough healthy red blood cells to transport oxygen throughout the body. Since 2008, World Sickle Cell Awareness Day has been held annually in order to help increase public knowledge and raise awareness of sickle cell disease and the struggle bearers and the families go through. At least 100 babies die from the disorder in Nigeria every year, according to the 2014 statistics by the World Health Organization, making it the #1 sickle cell endemic country in Africa. Lack of awareness is a major challenge.
So we are encouraging these children, those that know their genotype should stick to it, and while those that don't know their genotype should ensure that they talk to their parents for them to get tested and their genotype known, so that as they are growing up, when they now want to go into the other phase of life, they'll be able to abide and make our world a better place.
As pupils of the school enjoy the blessings of healthy living, Abubakar Ibrahim, a primary 1 pupil, is not that lucky. He is a sickle cell carrier, and his difficulties are better imagined. For him and his other colleagues, the message of hope brought by the resource person is well received.
I mean, it doesn't mean that because you have sickle cell, you're going to die tomorrow. It doesn't mean that you cannot play with your friends. It doesn't mean that you cannot, have friends. But you are limited.
The major concerns of the resource persons, however, is that a lot of couples still don't check their genotype status before marriage. Adua Demwalso, NTA News.
The Director General NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, has solicited the partnership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to beam live matches of AFCON 2019. The DG says the appeal followed a long partnership between NTA and the NNPC. Lydia Sampson reports.
A warm handshake of chief executives of 2 organizations with mutually benefiting relationship spanning decades. This time around, DG NTA Yakubu Ibn Mohammed is leading a powerful delegation to the NNPC TAS to interface on how to make Nigerians happier.
Is by bringing the 52 matches of the forthcoming Africa Cup of Nations to the homes and viewing centers of all Nigerians. It's costing NTA a whopping sum of 1.8 million euros to acquire the rights from the Confederation of African Football. And we are working assiduously to make sure that the offer has been given to us. We have made an advance payment, and we are working assiduously to make sure that Nigerians are part and parcel of this continental fiesta.
GMD NNPC Mekan Tibaru says for a long time NTA has been partners in progress.
Whatever we could do as NNPC will do to support his tenure, to see that he prospers. And NNPC has shown us special magnanimity, has shown notice when we have changing programs. He has approved them.
They both agree that sports, especially football, unites Nigerians, with Nigeria participating in AFCON after 6 years.
Continues and looks to go all the way. Lovely cup.
Beaming the tournament live will please Nigerians, and they resolve to ensure the success of AFCON 2019. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Next is a quick check on Thursday's weather prospect for Nigeria and other cities of the world.